as you saw from the video, food storage can be very important, and not getting it right can have devastating effects. And so that video was to get your attention, so that I could have your attention. So, how many calories do you need to store? Well, if you get online and you start looking up various websites and YouTube channels, you'll find a very large range, maybe as little as 1,200, 1,500, all the way up to over 3,000, maybe 3,500 per day. So we're going to look at some of those things, try to figure some of this out, and at the end of the video, I will tell you how we here at the Natural Household and Homestead, the Home Chef Prepper, how we went about figuring this out. So as we do this, let's bring this back to talking about calories for one person, which you can then multiply based upon the number of people in your household or your mag, your group, or whatever. So now we're going to go to a couple of websites that have to see what they suggest. And the first one we're going to is from the FDA. And it has a chart for males, and it has sedentary, moderate, and active. After the event, the big event, everyone's going to be very active. So you can see on the screen, going with the ages, that as the age increases, the calories requirements increase till they hit a high point of 3,200 for a 16 to 18-year-old male, and then they start going down from there. And this site has the same for females. It follows the same pattern, only the calories are not hardly as much. So most of your adult females, according to this, are going to be in the 2,000 to 2,400 calorie range per day, and your males are going to be in the 2,400 to 3,000 calorie range per day. Now, let's move on to another website. And this website is campingsurvival.com, and I'm not associated with them at all. I'm just using the information on here. And they are selling, as many websites do and many companies do, a 1-year emergency food supply. And according to this, it has 2,000 plus calories per day, and that would be per person. Of course, if this were a 3,000 calorie per day kit, it would tell us right here. So here is roughly a 2,000 calorie a day. Take that along with what we just saw on the other, and let's go on to another one. And this one is Legacy Food Storage, a pretty popular one. And this is a package that they sell. And you can see the numbers here, 4,320 servings. It is quite expensive. And the total calories are 1,726,560 calories. So that sounds like a lot of calories. But if you go down here, 2,000 calorie days, this is 863 days of 2,000 calories, which is quite a bit, the number of days for one person. But their kit is based upon 2,000 calories per day, it would appear. So keep that in mind with the other things that we're going to see, or the other sites that we're going to visit. Here's Emergency Essentials, 1-year emergency food kit. Total calories in this kit, this is a year-long kit, 1-year emergency food kit, 749,000 or almost 750,000 calories, and that is 2,080 calories per person per day. The Provident Living website, and it has a food storage calculator. How much do you need to store? So you can go here and get the same kind of information for yourself, but remember, for us, we're doing one person, and on their calculator, number of weeks, 52, because we're doing this for a year and one person. Calculate, and it gives you the basic food storage amounts as far as how many pounds. You can see this on your screen. Of grains is 400, legumes 60, and it goes down the list. I won't read them all to you. And I went through the process of calculating most of this up based upon how many pounds of each food group, and it comes out to roughly 960,000 calories for one person for 1 year. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now here is another website, Family Survival Planning. They have a similar kind of thing where you put in the number of family members, calculate it, and this is a 1 year. The 1 year, I guess, is already built into this, and it gives you a similar kind of a results. And I also calculated these rough calculations for this one, and it comes up to roughly 884,000 calories per year per person. Okay, so we went through various places, and you saw the number of calories that they were giving as an estimate per year per person. So after we here went through this process, instead of trying to figure out we need 2,280 calories for a 27-year-old lady and 3,110 calories for a 19-year-old young man, and etc., we just decided that we would just take what seemed to us to be, I know it's very unscientific, an average. We wanted to store X number of calories per person per year for the number of people that we are prepping for. And so we came up with an average of 2,500 calories per day. It kind of seemed to be in the middle of everything. And so, just to show you, that's not the end of our process, but 2,500 calories per day times 365 calories per year, or 365 days per year, 912,500 calories per year per person. So that's kind of an odd number to me, so I rounded that up to 1 million calories. And if you divide that by 365 days, you come up with something roughly 2,740 calories per day per person. 1 million calories seemed easier to keep track of than 912,450 or whatever that last number was. So that is how we are trying to do what we're doing here. And we got a long way to go, but that's what we're working with. Now that's an average. There may be some people who are children, some who are elderly, active adult women and men. Some will eat more than that, some will eat less than that, but that was a starting place. This is where we've started. This is what we're doing. All right. Well, there you have some information that you can use as you try to figure out how many calories you need to store. I explained to you how we came up with the 1 million calories. It's a lot of calories. It's also a convenient number to keep track of. And so before I close out the video, I wanted to say to you also that you do not have to get a year's worth of calories all at one time. You can break it down into months or weeks or just a day at a time. However you want to do it, however you can do it, try to get it done. And this video wasn't to try to convince you to do as we have done. It was to give you some information, hopefully to make you think. Stay away from the political aspects, all the pundits, the conspiracy theorists. Put all that stuff behind you. Look at the world around you. See what's going on. And think. If a given situation goes further, how will that affect you and yours indirectly and directly? And go from there. And keep in mind, when you're putting food in storage, as hopefully you are, we don't want, those of you watching me, I don't want you to find yourself in a bad situation. Part of the reason we have this channel. Remember, as you are getting your food for storage, your storage food is like insurance. It shouldn't, in my opinion, be your primary source of food. You need to be growing. We all need to be growing, producing our own food. With livestock, gardening, permaculture, some hunting, fishing, foraging, but don't depend upon those things too much because everybody's going to be doing that when the time comes. So learn how to grow your own food, produce your own food, harvest it, process it, store it. And then your storage food is for when you have a bad crop or a bad season. but it's still very, very important to get that food in storage. We'll be having several videos now that relate to this video, will be the basis or the foundation for what we're going to talk about in other videos. So, get to storing. If you haven't done it, get with it. If you've got a lot in storage, get more. You're never going to get too much. It's an investment and it's insurance. So until we see you the next time, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Thank you. We appreciate you being here, and we will see you later.